Hello and welcome to episode 24 of the She.Must.Knit podcast. My name is Erin and thank you so much for spending some of your time with me today. I hope you guys had a great week. I've had a busy week. Oh my goodness. I mentioned before last week that I'm getting ready for the Kitchener-Waterloo Knitters Fair that is happening tomorrow. This is my last show for the year. I cannot wait. It feels like I have been in show prep mode for months and months. And next week I will be able to get back to kind of a normal schedule, and I can't wait to get back to all the knitting. I do have some things to share with you today, but not as much as I would like. I really had very little knitting time this week. I feel like I've been sewing bags like a crazy lady and dyeing yarn up the wazoo. I got a yarn order late last week, and so I've been trying to get it all done in just a few days because it needs time to dry, right? So I just feel like that's all I've been doing this week. I've had very little knitting time. If it wasn't for the spinning that I've been able to get done, I would be a very grumpy Erin. I have mentioned that I need to be able to knit a little bit every day, just to be, just to stay calm and, it relaxes you, right? You know the drill. You guys know. So I still have some things to share with you today. Something that I have been working on. I did get a little bit of knitting done. I have a finished project. I have something that I want to be casting on soon, next week. I cannot wait. And then I have my collection. Last week I did not have a collection because I decided I was going to do a double collection with the two fabrics because they were both very popular with the votes. And I have that to share. It is all ready today. And then I have, of course, some fabrics for next week. So let's get started. I'm going to take a quick sip of my iced tea today. It's been so hot this week. I know a lot of people are thinking the same thing. They are ready for fall. Summer has actually been really nice, but yeah, we're ready for fall. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this week was Avery's first week back at school, so that has helped as well. And so again, next week, cannot wait. Normal schedule. Avery's at school. Oh my god, so much knitting time. Okay, so let's get started. I am going to first start with what I have been knitting on. I have not had a lot of knitting time this week. I mentioned last week that I was going to be going to a wedding last weekend, and so I cast this on last Saturday and worked on it in the car ride up and then the car ride back. But otherwise, I think I got 2 rows done on it this week just because I've had so much work to do. Oh my goodness. It's been crazy. So these are my September Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. And I'm not going to go into too much detail on these because last week I went into a whole thing about how I knit my vanilla socks. And so if you're interested in that, check out episode 23. But this is all I've got done this week. So it's just not much to say. I'm doing my normal 70 stitches vanilla sock on my 2mm Chiagu needles. This is all I have done. It's a little toe, but after this weekend I will be able to get back at this. And I'm going to try and get this first sock done by the middle of the month because they have to be done by the end of the month for the Desert Vista Dyeworks challenge. I'd like to try and get the first sock done by the 15th-ish of the month, and then I know I will have plenty of time to get to that second sock done. Although if you follow me on Instagram, you know I often leave it to the last minute, but I'm going to try not to do that. So this is all I have done. These are actually going to be for my brother. Most of the socks that I've knit this year for this challenge have been for me. I'm trying to, I don't even want to say grow my sock collection. I'm still in the creation phase because up until now, I've never knit socks for myself. It's only this past year that I started doing that. But I always knit socks for my brothers for Christmas, and it's September. Christmas is around the corner, guys. Like, we gotta face reality. And I don't want to leave these to the last minute. So I've decided to try and get my last remaining, I have 2 more gift pairs for my brother's Christmas gifts. 2 more pairs to do. I want to get those done well in advance so that I don't have to worry about them like, December 23rd. So These are for one of my brothers. The colorway is Zom Dinos. It was the inspiration picture that Susan used was from The Land Before Time, and I remember that movie fondly, so I really liked just the inspiration, and also I thought these were some really nice guy colors. So these are going to be for my brother, and you may not see them for a while. We'll see. I have to finish them by the end of the month, but I won't be working on these till next week. So that is all the knitting I got done, but I was able to get a fair bit of spinning done this week, and this is what has kept me sane. Because I have not been able to knit, I've at least been able to spin. And this has actually been a really, really quick project for me. I think when I showed you the progress last week, I had only been working on it for a week, and so this would be 2 weeks. And with my just how I've been spinning this year, it's been taking me quite a bit longer to get through projects. But yeah, this is like a 2-week project. I'm really proud of myself. I've left it on my winder just so you can see the colors better. And also, I literally like an hour or so ago finished this up. So I wound it on my little skeiner thingy here, and I will be giving it a soak. We'll worry about that tomorrow. Actually, yeah, we'll worry about it after the show. But yeah, so this is the Child's Play gradient that I was working on, and the dyer is Fat Cat Knits, who sadly no longer dyes anymore. But it was a gradient, so it went from, it started at the purple, and then went purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, and then the orange was in the middle, and then it went back, so orange, yellow, green, blue, and then back to the purple. So I did end up doing a chain ply. I mentioned last week how this would work towards one of my bingo squares where I wanted to do 2 skeins of a chain ply gradient yarn, and I wasn't sure if I had specified chain ply, and I did. I specifically said chain ply, so I decided to stick with that, because the other option I was going to do, because it kind of did a reverse gradient, was I was going to take the 2 ends and ply those together, because I would still kind of get, the colors would still kind of line up and I'd get more yardage. But I said chain ply, so I stuck with chain ply, and so the yarn is a bit thicker. I would say it ranges from like DK-ish, worsted in different places. But yeah, it's still really pretty. I'm still really happy with it. It's fairly even. There are some points where with the chain ply, the connecting loops, there's a bit of a bump, but for the most part, it's pretty even, so I'm happy with it. And I got about 187 yards. It's a super wash targy. So I'm thinking probably some sort of accessory. Now it is straight up rainbow, so probably not something for me. It could be something for Avery since it is super wash, or I might end up putting it up for trade, because I know there are lots of rainbow lovers out there. We will just have to see. I'll think about it for a bit. But yeah, so this is what I finished this week, and I'm so happy with it. Actually, now that you've seen it kind of in the, the lined up form, why don't we just pop this off and give it a little skeiner. See, it's pretty. I find that the spinning I do is fairly balanced off the wheel, but let's see what it looks like all skeined up, because that's fun too. So, all right, I actually didn't do such a bad job on that. So this is it in a skein, and look how bright and happy that is. I think that would actually be something really, really cute for Avery. I could probably do, I need to make her a new winter set. That's also on my bingo card. This could be a really cute, the outside of like a cowl or something. That might have to happen. I'm going to have to think about that some more. But yeah, so that's my finished spinning this week, and then I am going to talk about what is going to be going on my wheel next. I have found that the most efficient way for me to keep spinning so that I don't get into a lull is, as soon as I have a project done, is to put something onto my wheel immediately. Because when I get those little moments where I'm like, oh, I'm watching something on the computer, or I'm waiting for something to happen, I can just sit down and spin a little bit. If there's something already on my wheel, I am more likely to do that, and I am more likely to make progress. So I wanted to get something started right away. And so what I'm going to be putting on my wheel next is actually this is definitely going to be a project for Avery. It is something I have planned. I purchased the fiber back in May, I think, I think May at the Prince Edward County, their Fiber Fest. And I had decided, so I got this, and then I have this. She loves rainbows. And I had the idea to make her a sweater. And I wanted it to be inspired by Rainbow Dash. So I wanted kind of that Rainbow Dash blue as the body, and then I wanted like rainbow sleeves. And I couldn't find any yarn that fit that vision that I had for this project. And when I was at this show, there was this one booth, and I got these from the Olive Sparrow. So I don't know if you can see that, the olivesparrow.com. And she had this booth, and it was filled with all these solid colors of merino fiber. So this is not superwash, but that's okay. I'll hand wash it. I mean, I don't think she's gonna get it incredibly dirty, but they had all these beautiful solid colors, and I decided that, you know what, I think I'm gonna try spinning for this project. Because the other thing is, when I did find yarn that could work, it was gonna end up being like almost $100 for a sweater for a 6-year-old, and no. So this ended up being much more cost effective as well, and I do enjoy the process of spinning. So I ended up getting 2 colors. I'm not sure if you can tell. You can kind of tell on the screen there. This one's a little more greenish, and this one's a little bit more bluish. Neither of them were the exact color of Rainbow Dash, and so I figured if I do a 2-ply, so I'm going to do 1 bobbin of this blue and 1 bobbin of this blue, and then ply them together. I'm hoping to get something that will kind of look more like her color. So this is going to go on the wheel next. I'm going to start spinning, I think, the body color, because that's going to, honestly, that's going to be the most boring part, right? And I think I'm going to do, I think I bought 5 each of these, so I should have plenty. And then once I have the body done, I am going to do, I think I'm going to split these little guys in half, because I want to have for the arms. We'll figure this one out when we get there, but I'm definitely going to start with the body. And at this point, honestly, I don't know what kind of pattern I want to do. I don't know if it's going to be a hoodie or a pullover or whatnot. You know, maybe the sock arm sweater, I could adapt that to work with it. I did ask her if it's something that she would be interested in and if she would wear it, and she did say yes. And of course, she's 6. She was like, "Can you put wings on it?" Because Rainbow Dash has wings. And I was like, wings. We'll see. We'll see, honey. We'll see. I'm probably not going to put wings on it, but so that is going to be what I'm going to put on my wheel next. I actually don't think I'm going to actually start knitting this project this year. I think it's going to go onto my bingo card for next year to actually make the sweater, because I just, like, when I think of how many things I want to get done by the end of the year, I have all those projects, those gifts, like the hippo and the owl blanket and like all these big projects. I just don't want to put too much on my plate, so I think my goal is going to be to spin the yarn for that project, and then next year on my bingo card is to actually knit the project. So that's going to be on my wheel next. And then the only other thing I wanted to mention was I have a planned cast on, so probably next week, if I'm, we'll have to see how I feel. I do have, because I have my Girona top, I have other things that I'm working on. Oh, but I was just, when you get hit with inspiration, right? So I might just start this. So I received this lovely, lovely pink, bright pink. Look at that. That's pink. This lovely pink yarn for my birthday from Avery. She picked it out just for me, and I decided that, well, obviously I'm going to be making something for her with it. And I was thinking with the time of the year, so it's September, it's still warm, but we all know that cool weather is around the corner. And I figured if I was going to make her some kind of sweater with this, the best time would be now, so that it is ready for her to wear as the weather gets cooler. Because if I started then, she's not, especially with what I'm planning on making. So the pattern that I found online, because I just did a general search, I was looking for Aran weight sweaters or cardigans, and I saw this pattern come up. It's called Little Miss Margo, and I thought this would be a really easy garment for her to pop over. Like if she's wearing, as the weather gets cooler, if she's wearing just a long sleeved shirt and some pants, and she's going, you know, after dinner, going to the park or whatnot, or even in the mornings, you know, when the mornings start to get really, really cool, but then the sun comes out in the afternoon and it's hot again. It seems like this would be something really easy to just kind of pop over as a layer, but a very easy on and off layer. And then also, because this is a gradient yarn, and from what I can tell, this pattern is made in 2 pieces, the front and the back. I thought that this pattern would work really well with the gradient because it wouldn't get all interrupted. Like if there were sleeves or shaping or other things, the gradient might do funky things. And this way, I think the gradient would stay very true because it's just the front piece and the back piece. Beautiful cables, and it's in her favorite color, and she can just kind of pop it over her outfit. So the reason that I want to get that started soon is because we are approaching the perfect weather for her to wear this, and I want her to be able to wear it. I don't want to have to wait till the spring for her to wear it. So we'll see. I might have that cast on for next week, but I'm also definitely planning on working on my Girona top and some of the other things that you've seen over the past few weeks. So that's all that I've been working on this week and my plans coming up. So now we have the collection. And like I mentioned before, I was able to do a double collection. So I have some bags and some yarn based on both of the fabrics. So there was the sloth fabric and then there was the flamingo fabric. And it's funny because, okay, I'm going to start with the sloth fabric. And I had to put, you see how there's stuff in there? I had to put the yarn in the bag because Mr. Trouble kept stealing it. And I will explain why I think he was doing that when I get to the yarn, because it is a new base and it's a beautiful base. So I'm going to start with the bag. So first the sloth fabric, and oh my goodness, these little sloths are so cute. So I was able to get one sidekick bag, one wee sidekick bag, and I did, this is, you see it's a metallic silver there, I did a accent on the bottom, and the insides are these beautiful, like aqua, tealy, greeny aqua, and the yellow to pick up on the colors out here. So I have a wee sidekick. And then I have one of my regular bags as well. So a nice little travel, and that one has the metallic accent as well. My nice little squishy bags that you can stick in other bags. And then the yarn. Okay, so I did a skein of yarn for each fabric, and I got I have a new base, and this is so squishy. So this is the yarn that I have to go with the sloths. The base is mainly a light gray, and then there's all these kind of like mustardy yellow flecks in there, and then also you can see there's some of the aqua and little pops of the light pink. This is so squishy and soft. This is a sport weight, and it is a non-superwash sport weight. So it's 80% merino, 20% nylon, but not superwash. I am dying to try making some socks with this because I think A, they would knit up super, super fast, and B, they are going to be like the squishiest, coziest winter socks that could possibly be. Yeah, so I actually dyed a whole bunch of this base for the Kitchener show, and I'm secretly hoping there's going to be some left over in a color that I really like. There was a few I really like, so that I can sneak one off and make some, make some socks with it. I want to see what the socks will be like, because it is so soft. So I have one skein of this that goes with the sloth fabric, and then I have the flamingo fabric. So for the flamingos, I have a medium drawstring bag, and I have one of my Bitty Buddies, my little drawstring bags. This is the perfect sock size. So the insides is this accent fabric that I found here. I thought it just went with it really, really well. So that's the Bitty Buddy. And then I also have a wee sidekick in that one as well with the accent fabrics. And then I have a skein of yarn for this one, and it's the same base, the Sport Weight non-superwash merino and nylon. And this one is kind of the blue, and then all those little pinks and aquas as well. So yeah, I can't wait to try this yarn and to see how it does at the show. So yeah, the reason I think Mr. T kept stealing this is because I think he likes the woolly wool. So the ones that are more natural, I guess maybe they smell more like sheep, I don't know. But he keeps trying to grab these. I keep having to hide these away. So yeah, that's the yarn. So that is the collection for this week. All those items will be up in the shop by the time you see this. And then I have the vote for next week. And I think these are really cute fabrics too. The colors, again, are a little different for me. I usually like my bright, bright, brights. But yeah, I think these will be fun to play with. So the first fabric I have are these like little book cats. So you can see there's like all these stacks of books. And then there's these little kitty cats that are playing and hiding amongst the books. So there's gray cats. And then I think there are also, let's open it up a little bit more here. There are also some little brown cats as well, and orange cats. So yeah, we have the cats with the books is your first choice. And then the second choice is some little hedgehogs. And these are more naturalistic hedgehogs versus like little cute hedgehogs. But again, I think these colors would make some really, really pretty, like more delicate yarn. So that is your second choice, the hedgehogs. So let me know in the comments below if you would like to see the books, the cats in the books, or the hedgehogs for next week's collection, and I will see by next week, whichever one has the most votes, I will put something together. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the weekend. I am going to be busy, busy, busy at the Kitchener show. If you are planning on going, please come by and say hi. I will be in booth 123. They are back into the 2 arenas that they had been in, not last year, but the years before. And I'm in a new spot. Usually I'm in like the second building or the second arena, and I'm in like the first one this time. So booth 123, I will have some new, like I said, new yarn bases. I have a whole bunch of new colors that I dyed this week. And I have lots of new bags and prints and little notions and goodies. And then I will say that next week I will be uploading. So everything that comes back with me, I will be putting onto the site. So you will be able to see all the stuff that I've been working on over the last couple of months, because as I've been doing the shows, I haven't been putting all the products onto my website. I've been kind of keeping them aside for my next show. So after this show, since it's my last one, everything that comes home with me will all be going on the site. There'll be lots to choose from. So I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you get lots of knitting and crafting done. I probably won't get very much done over the weekend, but come Monday, oh boy, I cannot wait to get back to my projects and just having that daily knitting time. I just love it. I love having daily knitting time. So I can't wait to get back to that. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.